Hello, hello. Welcome. Happy new moon. Welcome to live card readings for the new moon in Taurus. We're just going to give it a couple of moments for everyone to receive their notifications. And as you are joining in on the call, I invite you to please say hello and let me know that you are here. And so I'm curious to how all of you are feeling, what you have been experiencing. I know, good morning, Barbara. I know last night I was in a weird sleep. It was like I was half asleep and then finally got up at 4, and I was up for at least an hour before I went back to bed until about 7. So interesting time. I'm noticing that there is an outpouring of energy and events and experiences where people have been passing. I know over the last couple of days, I know a few people that have passed. There's been an increase in agitation with younger folk, I want to say, teenagers I've been noticing. And so I'm curious to what you've been experiencing in your life, what you've been noticing, how you've been experiencing the energy as we move into the new moon. So the new moon is usually about new intentions. And today it's in Taurus. And Taurus is really about creating greater stability, greater foundation, about really understanding what it is that you are desiring, to take a look at your life now and to assess. Who am I now? And as I take a look at my life and as I take a look at my belongings, what do I want? What do I want to experience? And am I willing to commit to myself and to create greater stability, a greater relationship to myself and to my foundation, to my life, to my possessions? And so you might notice that there are some possessions that you have attained, some things that you have created in your life that no longer meet you where you are. They are a manifestation. You have created that experience. And so now, do you still want it? Now, are you willing to let it go and create greater space, or do you want more of it? It's a beautiful time to really assess your own relationship with your finances, with your resources. Are you open to receiving more? Are you in flow in your life? And when you take a look at your life, where are you out of flow? And where is it that you want to create greater flow? And what does flow actually mean for you, right? This is also an opportunity to really assess your own relationships. One of the words that kept on coming forth was respect, self-reliance. And so what does self-respect mean for you? And are you experiencing that? Are you acting on behalf of that? Are you experiencing that with others? And so it really does feel like an opportunity to even assess boundaries. What does boundaries mean? And have my boundaries shifted? And it's not to come to a place of I am going to enforce and control my boundary, but it's my willingness to express myself in such a way that allows for people to know where I respect myself and where I'm not willing to receive this type of treatment or behavior, right? So let's see. Barbara had a dream about deep water and very large fish and boats. Interesting. I love that. It feels like flow, and it also feels like a beautiful opportunity to move into a deeper sense of cleanse. There's a cleansing that may be happening. And in that cleansing is the abundance that you're looking for. Fish, typically they represent money, wealth, prosperity for me. So I love that. Sandy, grateful for some guidance about my career, please. Okay, yeah. All right, we'll take a look at that. Definitely. Jocelyn is Definitely a huge purging of stuff while I'm recovering from surgery. Yeah. Hi, Lisa. Okay. Love that. All right. Well, let's begin. So we'll begin with Sandy. So, guidance about my career, please. I haven't worked for the last 7 weeks, due to thyroid issues. I will go back to my temp job this Friday if they move me to another department. Otherwise, I'm quitting and looking for something else. My curiosity for you, Sandy, is what would it feel like? What would it be like? What would my experience of myself be like if I were to express myself fully? If I were to say the words that I have within and share them with people? If I were to be able to say things and not take their response personally? What would it be like to be a powerful communicator? So I guess my curiosity here as well is, and I feel like this is something that we come back to over and over again, is your willingness to decide and to have your own self-authority. Yeah, it feels as though you've been waiting for things to happen for you. So I'm gonna move this out. You're waiting for life to direct you, to tell you what to do, including others to tell you or direct you into what is the best place of action, rather than you making the decision for yourself. And so are you willing to stop looking outside of yourself and to really come back to you and decide, I choose to go back to work. I choose to have a new career experience. I choose, and this is what I want. And so are you willing to make the choice rather than waiting for life to happen for you? Because every single time you wait for life to happen for you, you will be disappointed. And so this is the willingness to embrace your own sense of power, your own sense of self, your own sense of self-responsibility, to love yourself and to take ownership of your own life, and to make decisions so that you can create the powerful focus that is yours, not the world's. The world isn't here to tell you what to do. The world isn't here simply to offer you feedback and to be with you. And so, yeah, in doing so, right. And so I love that you're making the choice to have a new career experience and joy at a new workplace. And so it's the willingness to be with that. So can I be with that? What does that actually feel like to have that, to experience that? What does it even kind of look like? And so as I feel into this career, can it be prosperous? Can it be fun? Can it be joyful? Can it be something that inspires me to wake me up every morning? Can it be something that has me working with my hands, or something that is working in community with others? Can it be something where I can work from home if I want to? Whatever those things are, to bring that into your focus and to bring that into your heart. And as you do, you create a change in your environment, your physical environment. You create a change in your own career, but it's up to you to be willing to stay with it and to move and to be inspired to see the newspaper when, I don't even know if people still do that, look in the want ads, to go and to check out a website, to find a career, to go to the coffee shop when you're inspired to, and you might meet somebody who's looking to hire someone, or to allow yourself to be guided, not told, right? To be guided and to be moved, and to have others move in your direction because of that. So, love that. Yeah. There you go. Awesome. All right. CA would love a card, feeling stalled. I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. So from what I'm feeling, everything. Okay. The only reason why you're stalled is because you haven't made a decision to do the thing that you want to do. So the thing that you want to do, the thing that you actually want, the thing that you want to express is right here, and it's just waiting to come out. And because you are on both sides of the fence, very much like Sandy, there's almost this apprehension and a little bit of terror in moving in the direction of what it is that you actually want. And so are you willing to take that action? Are you willing to make that decision, actually? And again, perfect day to make that decision, because here we are, new moon, creating greater stability, reliability. And so, yeah. Are you paying attention to yourself, or are you paying attention to others? Are you willing to move on behalf of you, or are you waiting to gain and garner the attention, the validation, the love from others based on what it is that you're choosing? And so are you willing to love yourself so much that you decide, right? And so it's always knowing that every time we feel stuck, it's because there's a decision that we haven't yet made. And so allowing yourself to love yourself so much, to allow yourself to receive greater forms of love, and love to yourself, will help you to get out of the patterning that you have that's keeping you where you are in this moment. It almost feels like this is the pattern of, oh, I move 2 steps forward, I get stuck, and then you feel like you're going backwards, but you're not. And so it's this opportunity to really allow yourself to decide, and then to decide again, and then to decide again, and to continue to move forward as you do, recommitting to yourself. So this creates, your action is to commit to yourself, and to allow whatever thoughts and ideas that come forth from making this decision to really come into your face, and for you to question it. Is that thought actually true? Do I actually believe that? Am I willing to break through that pattern? And so by allowing yourself to get out of the mind and into the heart, creates an initiation. And this initiation is, it is this, like, the universe, God, source, whatever you want to label it, wants what you want. And so if you allow yourself to get out of your own mind and choose that pathway, you're actually going to be journeying into a higher experience that's going to allow for you to create this sense of purpose for both you and the world. And so that kind of feels like that's what the shift is. And so what does that actually mean for you? Is that actually what you want? Right? Yeah. And so it's creating a new story. But the new story isn't just about you. The new story is saying, and whatever it is that you're moving forward with, the world wants to. And so I love that for you. Jocelyn would love a card to really, really help me decide my next step towards moving. Have you decided to move? You're welcome. Okay. Yeah. My curiosity is, have you decided to move, Jocelyn? It almost feels like, it's like, I can see your house, and it's like you want to move right next door. I don't know if that's true, but it feels to me, it feels as though you don't want to move far away. You want to stay pretty close. could be wrong in that, but let's see. Okay, good. You made the decision. Love that. Love that. Huh. Okay. So yes, it feels like you have made the decision to move, that you are in the energy of it and you're actually embracing it. And I kind of feel like you're almost dreaming about what it would be like to be retired and what possibilities are available for you, how you can go and you can do whatever you want and you'll have time freedom and all of these other things. And if you want to gallivant, you can gallivant. If you want to play, you can go and play. And so it's I love that. It feels like the fulfillment is coming. I think where you're tripping yourself up is you're getting a little bit impatient in that rather than hearing the guidance. And so I love that with this energy of the new moon as well, because this energy is with the Taurus inviting you to create deeper focus. So deeper focus, staying with that focus, and to allow yourself to practice the patience. And to allow yourself to receive. There are things that are coming into fulfillment as you move forward in the direction of your move and in this retirement. It feels as though there are things that you're not yet seeing because your lens is small. And so you're being invited to open up the lens to see that there are greater possibilities. It's almost like, well, there are surprises that are in store for you. And so to open up your lens to see what is actually possible so that you can receive the insights, the feedback, the synchronicities that are here. It feels like there are things that are in convergence with you that are meeting you in these places that are offering you these little drop-off gifts and insights and information. But you're kind of not seeing it because you've got an umbrella. And so staying focused, opening up your own sense of patience within yourself, opening up your lens to what is possible and playing with possibility and to also tap in and to hear your own intuition, to hear your own guidance. It almost feels like there's this, as you're doing this, you're also being invited to be masterful in your own emotions, to be masterful in the understanding of divine timing, which we know you know, and to be masterful in allowing yourself to receive from the world. And in doing so, Nine of Diamonds, there will be completions to, you're going to get there. There will be completions to your career. There will be a completion to where you are living. And so there will be endings. Things will go and you will have the move that you desire. And so your next step is to open up, to receive, to really play with receiving. You know, what does receiving mean for you? And to allow yourself to receive in all ways, always. People opening up the door, someone wanting to offer something to you, someone, inviting you out for a walk, all of these places where you can allow yourself to receive greater and more, to open up that muscle. Because I feel like there's been a little bit, though you are healing from a surgery, there's been a little bit of hermiting. And so to allow yourself to receive in greater ways so that you can get a greater grasp of how you relate to yourself now, because you have changed greatly. Love that. You're welcome, Sandy. Hello, Samantha. Love a card, please. What wants to be discovered in the AMP's absence? Ooh, interesting question. There's something that you've been avoiding looking at. And you know what it is. It's here. I can feel it in your mind, but I can also feel it in your belly. There's something that you don't want to look at because there's a little bit of fear or apprehension that if you take a look and you open this can of worms, you don't know what's going to happen. You're not sure if you're going to be able to contain it, and you're not sure how that's going to affect the people in your life. I guess we'll say your family or those that are around you. And so there are 6 clubs. What is the truth that you are running away from? And what is the stories that you've connected to the thing that you are hiding within yourself? Are you willing to allow for it to rise so that you can actually see it through the lens of truth without seeing it through the lens of distortion? It's like picking up, looking for an example. It's like picking up my lipstick, right? And seeing it as it's lipstick, but I can give it any meaning I want. I can give it the meaning that it's going to make my lips really luscious, or it's going to poison me because there are some chemicals in here, right? I can give it meaning, but the truth is it's just lipstick, right? In a very beautiful little case. That's it. And so that's the invitation. The invitation is for you to face it and to allow yourself to see that there isn't anything that is rising up from this place that is here to cause you harm. It's actually here just to detox from your body. And it is connected to a pattern that you are low level riding, that is affecting all of these different aspects of your life. It's a web. And so it does feel like what is rising up is some childhood experience that is simply here to be seen and to be accepted and embraced as you do. Allow that to rise. And so all these cards are black, which is all inner work. And so you might not even be expressing what this is out loud to anybody. But what I love is it actually deepens your own connection to the masculine. It deepens your connection. It deepens your connection to the safety of the divine, the safety of the masculine. Okay, so I'm just going to say it. Is there a part of you that is angry at God? And is there a place for you to come into forgiveness with God? There are many of us who've had these experiences where we interpret masculine or parents as God, as those that kept us safe, that raised us, all of these things. But there are experiences that we have in our childhood where we interpret it because we don't have a mature brain, where we have, they've abandoned us or not come for us. And so there are parts of ourselves that are angry at the divine. And because we are angry at the divine, it makes it really hard for us to receive from the divine. And so allowing yourself to move through this to see what is actually true is going to allow for you to embrace the divine in greater ways, including the masculine frequency. I feel like you know that you've been coming into a great alignment with both energies and coming into this cohesion. This is one piece that is allowing for greater support for you. Love. Yeah. All right. I hope that resonates. Yeah. Take them off the pedestal, Samantha. Oh, look what I did. I've done that in forgiveness work. And today is the perfect day, Tuesday being a day of acceptance. Where in the forgiveness work that I've done, I've imagined my parents across from me on a pedestal, and I literally have them step down so that in that space, I'm seeing them eye to eye, and then I move through my forgiveness piece. And so that might be something you might want to play with. All right, Barbara, what's going on? And know that as we are all here together, whether live or on the replay, we are all playing in this container, this energetic container. And so many of the questions and the answers that rise up may resonate for you. Ooh, I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath, Barbara. I can feel your excitement, and under that, I can feel a little bit of apprehension. Yeah. So you've been doing the work. You've been taking new actions. You've been moving forward in creating a new physical life experience. So you've been doing the things, you've been moving forward with your business, you've been taking the actions, and I love that. And I can feel that there's a little bit of fear and apprehension that's within you. And so we're just going to invite that to move up. But it also feels like you're desiring a little bit of love. Are you are you looking for a relationship? Or are you looking for others that are here to connect with you? Because it almost feels as though that as you moved forward in moving, in expanding your business or growing a business, starting a business, working with other people, that you've kind of put your relationships to the side. And so there's a little bit of loneliness that's there. And this fear that and the apprehension that I'm feeling within is this, if I continue to move forward in my business and continue to bring in clients and expand and do all of these things, am I going to be alone? Am I not going to have people around me? And so your action is to really get out there, to come back and to ask yourself the question, what is it that I want in connection with others? Do I want to make new friends? Do I want to be in greater communities? Do I want to get outside and be with other people? And what does that feel like for me? What does that actually look like? And am I willing to go and take those actions? Because having a business and moving forward in that business does not mean that you have to be alone or have to hermit. It almost feels like you're playing in both these places, and your belly is saying, I want people too. And so the willingness to get out there and to connect and to be with people will allow for you to create, I see this as like a gathering of friends, like create a community of people with like minds, to create. It's like I see you guys. I don't know why I would see you at the library, but a bunch of you at the library holding a book and doing a spiritualized book club, or having greater connections that are outside of your box, outside of your realm, that allows for you to play with the mind, to see how you relate with others, to see how you're seeing yourself now. And so I feel like perhaps an intention to get out there and make new friends might be something that's within you. This energy feels like a safe space to process, integrate, enjoy, and choose my own adventure in integrity. Yes, absolutely, Lisa. I love that. Oh, cool. Not far, Jocelyn. Love that. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody up here. Okay, cool. Hi, Rosalie. All right. I would love a card for guidance on this new moon. I've been working on self-love for some time, but find myself in cycles I thought I already broke. Yeah. So healing isn't linear. Healing is a cycle. But what I feel, Lisa, is that, okay. So many of us have these cycles of healing that we continue to move forward, and we think that we bust through. And it can be, I don't want to say that it's false. I don't want to say that we haven't broken through, but in that healing is the invitation to act in a new way. And sometimes if we're in this pattern where we've continued to do things in the same way, we don't necessarily have that full breakthrough. And so we continue to play in that cycle of healing. And so it's noticing. I'm noticing where I'm not loving myself. I'm noticing where I'm not choosing myself. I'm noticing where I'm not acting on behalf of myself. And so I say something. And so I say something because I'm resentful and I'm angry and I'm pissed off. And so I'm going to say something and something changes for just a minute. And I think that because I did do that, that everything's going to change. But there was something amiss in between where the action that you took wasn't different. And so you're being invited to act in new ways on behalf of that self-love. And so that's exactly what the cards are saying. In order to choose love, one must act and express on behalf of it. But sometimes that love means cutting people down. And when I say cutting people down, it's getting them off of the pedestal that you have them on and seeing them for the truth of who they are. There are some people in your life that you're seeing through the lens of drama and seeing through the lens of story. And so not necessarily seeing them truly for who they are. And so you're being invited, oh, I'm now seeing the Five of Hearts as rose-colored glasses, to take off the rose-colored glasses and to actually see things for what they are without story. Again, same thing as the lipstick, right? It's the willingness to see that you have changed. And so if you have changed, that means that someone else has the ability to change as well. But if you are going to continue to project who they were yesterday as they come forth by telling yourself that story and re-engaging with that story, then that's all that you're going to see, rather than seeing the availability for a possibility for a difference, for change itself. And so, yeah, are you willing to see others in your life in greater and new ways? Because if you're going to continue to reinforce a story of, and we'll use a mom. My mom is like this. My mom is always like this. She never listens to me. She always picks someone else or another sibling before me and puts them first. She's always going to choose their side. She's always going to blah, 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 but I'm going to love me. And as I love me, I'm going to choose myself and I'm going to ensure that I'm going to choose myself always. I'm going to express myself. And as I express myself, I feel like I'm channeling you. As I express myself, I'm going to, go in a huff and she can do her and I'm going to do me. But can you just let go of the story and then let your mom show up without the story? Because part of this self-love journey is to actually allow yourself to be loved in new ways. But if you continue to reinforce a story, you're not going to let yourself be loved in new ways. It hurts more to let yourself be loved in new ways than it does to have painful experiences. And that's true for everybody. Right? We're so used to experiencing someone in some way that to have them show up brand new and offer love to you, it is so uncomfortable and so vulnerable. And so it takes deep trust, it takes deep presence, it takes deep love. And so are you willing to allow yourself to experience the new forms of love and the love that's available for you because you've changed? You just got to let go of that story. And so in letting go of that story, you receive great celebrations of love. People start to show up in new ways. You open up your capacity to receive love. You open up a new love story. You express yourself in new ways. You develop deeper sense of trust. And so I feel like this message is for everyone here. And so it's, yeah, what do you want your love story to be? Ms. Taurus, I know your birthday's coming. So what do you want your love story to be? And when you allow that to come forth and happen for you. And same thing happens with money. And same thing happens in all relationships. But the premise and the preface is always going to be you. It's always you first. So, yeah. That was a good one. All right. Rosalie. Let's see. I'd love a card. I'd love a love card. What's in store for me in love? What's key to know in regards to a romantic relationship? Thank you. Also open to whatever wants to come through for the highest good, of course. Ooh. Romantic relationship. Have you decided that you're open for a new relationship? Interesting. Oh, okay. So it feels like you've been focused on things coming into completion, things coming into ending, things in the material. And so it's possible that things have come to completion, but I know a bit of your story just from observing. You've moved, something about rent, something about, there have been changes that have been happening in your life. And I feel like these changes have been happening over the last 18 months. And so now is a time to actually come back and to begin to live on purpose. And as you begin to live on purpose, it's the making the decision. I decide to be in a romantic relationship. I decide to allow myself to be served. And so what does it mean to be served by a man? What does it mean to receive a man? What does it mean to create space for a man as you decide? And to allow that to actually to marinate in that, to be in that, to play in that idea and to play with that decision. I decide to be open. And I allow myself to receive and be open. And I'm willing to do what it takes in order to bring forth and connect and magnetize a man into my life. I'm willing to take the inspired actions. I'm willing to see myself in new ways. I'm willing to receive myself in new ways, to love myself in new ways. And so I will listen. And I will listen to my intuition. I will listen to the guidance. And as I do, I will magnetize my man. I will bring him forth. I will activate. It feels like I will activate, like in my field, I'm ready, which will then bring forth a new story, a new love story with a man. It does feel that as you are moving in this direction with men, you're letting go of these threads of what it was to relate in past relationships. And so there will be a cleansing and a clearing that happens as you move forward with this. But again, it's really up to you, the willingness to commit to you as you move forward with that, because he will come. That is so cute. I love that. Mesa, how are you? I would love a card around my love life, please. What is my next best step in love? It's okay that you missed the beginning. You can always come back. Okay. I'm going to invite you to take a breath. It almost feels, come into the body. So this month is really about patience. This new moon is about patience, and it does feel like there's some impatience in that. Like you just want them now. You want them here. You want them now. You want them here. You don't know how do I get there? How do I get them? How do I bring them into my space? How do I bring them into my life? Yeah. You're not a Four of Clubs, are you? I'm not sure if you are. Remind me, please. Yeah. Okay. So with this, I see that I feel like there have been some men that have come into your life. You've received some fulfillment, and there have been, I'm just using this as a metaphor. There have been some princes that you've kissed, or some frogs that you've kissed that have not necessarily turned into the prince. And so you've received it. You've received a lot of insight and a lot of information. And at the same time, it doesn't necessarily feel like you know what you want yet. And so from this experience, when you take a look at your life and all of these people that have come into your experience for you to relate with, what have you noticed that you want? And what is it that you notice that you are not yet giving to yourself? Are you willing to actually move through that to see what that is that you're not yet giving yourself, that you're hoping a part of you unconsciously is hoping that they can fulfill for you? And so whatever that is, to release the detachment, to release the attachment you have from that need. And so, and detaching from the pattern itself. So many of us think that we have to detach from things. But I've been really playing with that thought of detaching from things. Do I really have to detach from my love for this lipstick? No, I have to detach from the pattern that I have for the lipstick. I have to detach from the pattern that I have from being willing or not being open to receiving. I have to detach from the pattern that I have that isn't serving me, because what I actually want is over there. And so are you willing to detach from the patterning that you have that has people coming in to serve as this fill, and rather in the detaching of that to come and to create a pattern where you're just loving yourself instead, loving yourself, fulfilling yourself, trusting yourself, not from a place of I can do this all alone. I am woman, hear me roar. I will do this all by myself. No, it is from a place of I am looking for partnership. And I feel like a lot of this redefinition is allowing for a shift in your own mind of what is it to be in relationship with a man, and what does that actually look like? Because I feel like what you've been seeing has been a little bit distorted. And so that definition for you is shifting. And as it's shifting, it's allowing this pattern to rise up so you can release from this attachment that you have for others. I am an anxious attachment. I anxiously attach to people. And so that is my pattern. And when I can feel them energetically leaving, I have a pattern, or I had a pattern where I would like, oh my God, I need to do something for you in order for you to stay. That's what you're detaching from. You're detaching from the pattern by stopping yourself creating a pattern interrupt. I see what I'm doing. I'm going to stop. The story that I'm telling myself is he's going to leave, and he's not. He's right there. All is well. And so I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is come back, pull back into my own energy, pull back into my value, pull back into loving myself, and be. I'm going to be until I am inspired to do something. And if I'm not inspired to do anything, then I'm going to just receive. I'm just going to receive. And as I receive, as I break through that pattern, you break through the patterns. So you create new patterns in how you're going to relate in relationship with this man that is coming. Like, I feel several men in your field. Whether or not they are the one, I don't know, but it does feel like they are here to, they are here as possibilities. And so they're like in waiting. So it's like men in standing that are just waiting for you to move through this piece so that you can create new patterns that include you being so present and aware of who you are. And I don't want to swear, that there's almost like no F's given. Like, I know who I am. I know what I want. This is what I want. I'm going to stand true to that. And I'm going to act in accordance to that. And I'm going to allow myself to receive it too. So that is good. Love. Oh. Okay. Lisa, long time no see. I would love a confirmation card around how I'm seeing the opportunities around me at this time. So I'm going to invite you to take a breath. Come into the body. And we're going to invite ease into the eyes. There's a lot of tension in the eyes itself. I'm just inviting in some ease. You know, I've been working on my vision. And the one biggest piece that really like kind of clicked for me was we have all of these senses, right? We can see, we can hear, we can taste, we can smell. We have that sense of touch. And in all of those, we receive them. We receive all of that. So we receive the frequency that gets transformed in our ears to become sound. We receive light and energy into our eyes in order for us to create an image. But here, what I'm feeling is you're moving your eyes outward to find something. You're the one that's chasing the vision. Obviously, I'm right because that thumbs up sign says so. And so it's pulling back and bringing the relaxation back into the eyes. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So I don't sometimes when we have been abused or had experiences in our life, traumatic experiences in our life, and all of us has had a trauma, right? And a trauma is simply an experience where we were unable to fully experience it with our mind, where it was able to actually fully integrate it. And especially as children, we didn't have the brain capacity, nor did we have the maturity or the emotional or mental maturity to actually receive that experience. And so what's happening is your eyes are used to looking out for danger. It's like your eyes are in fight or flight, always looking for the bear, always looking for any next piece of what can go wrong, what's falling away, what's leaving my experience, where am I going to be unsafe, where do I have to protect myself, where do I have to, and so we're pull back. The world is going to whirl. The world is going to change. That is never going to change. The world will always change. Things around you is always going to change. Even you change. And so as you change, if you were to see yourself in the mirror, you never look the same, because whenever you look in the mirror, you're gaining back the memory of the past of how you once looked. Everything's always going to change. And so can you allow yourself to come back into the body and to be soothed? Everything's going to change and I am safe in this moment. And so rather than focusing my eyes on what can go wrong, what if I focused my eyes on what are the opportunities that are available for me? Not what is wrong with the opportunities that are available for me, but what are the opportunities that are available for me? And so I'm just going to invite you to take a deep breath. And so as I allow myself to play with that thought, what happens to my eyes? What happens to my perspective? Can I allow myself to see more? Can I allow myself to create greater focus? I have opportunities that are available for me and I'm not yet seeing them, but I am willing to see more. I decide I am open to seeing possibilities. God, divine, universe, surprise me today. Show me. I want to see. I want to play. I want to play with possibilities and opportunities. And so as I play and I invite the divine to play with me and I relax my eyes, I relax my vision, and I be conscientious about that, I create greater flow. And I invite the divine to come and play with me because now I'm open to receiving. Now I'm open to receiving greater opportunities to come into my field of vision. And not just my field of vision, but to come in through my intuition. To come in through my hearing, to come in through that sense of touch. I might even taste it, who knows? But I allow myself to receive the flow and greater clarity as I continue to move forward. I hope that serves. That's really good. Yeah. And so, take a breath. I feel like there's might be a cleansing that happens with that. Love. Thanks for the lipstick, Samantha. Yeah. Okay. Stephanie, I'm just quickly checking a message. Okay. I might have to go in a couple minutes. I feel that there might be a fire at my children's school today. So I will pull a couple more. I would love cards. I was supposed to be moving this weekend and it all blew up and is now up in the air. I would love some guidance. Yeah. Okay. There's just some energy moving. So we're just going to let the energy move. Yeah, interesting. So there are endings and completions that are happening that you cannot control. And so these things that were, so even this move, even though this was happening, something else, it's not that there was an intervention, no, but it just wasn't meant to happen at that time because there's something else that is coming forth. And so can you trust that whatever that is coming forth, but you're going to receive the insight and you're not going to see it with your eyes. So all of this is happening for you and it's happening in flow for you. There's something greater that is happening that is on the perimeter that is falling into place. You'll discover later on why the place that you were moving into, whether or not that is the place you're still going to move into, but why that wasn't suitable and why that wasn't working out. You'll receive insight later on, but not now at this time. Things fell into place to allow for you to not go to this place. There's something greater and more You'll receive the insights soon. Stay in alignment, stay in flow with where you're headed. This isn't a 2 steps back kind of thing that's happening for you. And so allow yourself to stay in the grace and the knowing that everything is happening for you and your children. It's important that I say for you and your children. And so stay in that trust, stay in that receivership, stay present, because there's an expansion that's happening for you. And so allow yourself to be guided into this expansion, and into this, a greater fulfillment of the lifestyle that you're desiring. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Marianne. How are you? Okay, let's see. All right. All right, B. What is good for B to know in this moment? I keep on hearing, it will come, it will come, it will come, it will come. It will come. So whatever it is that you are creating, manifesting, desiring is coming, but because you're not seeing it, it's throwing you off, and it's creating anxiety and a greater sense of impatience, which is throwing you into fight or flight. And so it's calm down, come back. Allow it to unfold for you, because it is, but you want to pay attention to your own energy, because your energy is causing you to project onto others and causing a projection of your own thoughts. And so you've got spinning thoughts, because it's coming, and the fulfillment of what you desire is coming. But it's not going to happen in the way that you want it to happen. It's not showing up the way that you think it's going to show up, which is why you're being invited to allow it to just unfold. What if it was even bigger than what you thought? What if it was greater than what you thought? But because you're so focused on how it's going to fall or come into place as in ABC, you're missing out. And so can you find the joy in allowing it to unfold for you? Because as it does fall into place, it almost feels like it's very measured. So it'll, like, one piece will fall here and another piece of it will fall here, and then another piece will fall up ahead and another piece will fall here. In that, as you allow for it to fall into place for you, you're going to come into a greater awareness of what it is that you want. And so an example of this is, if whatever is unfolding for you is greater and bigger than what you think, then what you want might get bigger beyond what you think in this moment too. And so allowing yourself to pull back and to be with it. And this doesn't mean that you're not to take inspired actions. With all of this, as it's continued to fall in place, it's coming back, connecting to your desire, to this manifestation, and feeling, okay, what is my next step? My next step is to create a painting over here. Oh, what's my next step now in this moment? Oh, my next step is to go do laundry. What's my next step now? Go make that phone call. And so it's allowing yourself to be guided to take the steps. But again, the steps aren't going to be A, B, C, D. The steps will be in a cycle. Okay, let me just. Okay. All right. So, hello, everyone. How are you doing? Okay. Yes, you can. Oh, whoops. Show. Can you ask? Yes, of course. Let's see. Let's pull a card for Divyansha. Divyansha. Love that. Okay. I'm just going to pull a couple more, and then I've got to go. You're welcome, Lisa. All right. So I'm going to pull for Divyansha. Okay, let's pull first. There's something in your heart that you've been desiring and you've been wanting to move out, but you've been almost keeping it close to the heart and not wanting to express it, because if you express it, you're afraid that it'll be taken away. It almost feels like this one thing that you're wanting to move out is connected to a childhood pattern, and this childhood pattern is, it's almost like you had a lot of siblings, and so whenever you had something, someone would take it from you, right? And so there's this gift that you have. There's this gift that you have that's wanting to be expressed fully, and this expression is really important because it will allow for you to see yourself in new ways. And so as you move forward with this new moon, your invitation is to let go of the old stories, of the things that hurt you, the things that caused you pain. And it feels like you have been doing this work before, but there are some threads that have continued to carry forward as you continue to walk. And these things that are here are wanting to be, what is the word? Almost severed, but that's too harsh of a word. It's wanting to be transmuted into greater wisdom for you, because that wisdom that you garner from these threads that you are carrying from the past will help to move you forward with whatever it is that you're wanting to project out into the world now. And so allowing yourself to really identify what's holding me back from presenting myself, from being all of me now. In fact, asking yourself the question, who am I? Who am I? Who am I now? And as I take a look at who I am now, how I am in relationship to people, how I am in my own expression, I'm going to see that I've changed. I'm not the same person. But because I'm carrying this from my past, I'm behaving in old patterns that don't serve me, that don't match who I am. And in fact, because I'm doing that, I'm reinforcing the old story and I'm starting to hurt my own feelings. And I want to stop that. And so as you take a look and assess who you are now, and to take a look at your life and to really assess even the material things that you have around you, your possessions, do these actually match me? And as I begin to allow myself to see myself in new ways, I get a greater, I result in a greater focus. I actually allow myself to take this, whatever you're holding in your heart, and I decide I'm going to move this out into the world. And it can be just simply you being you, light. And so the result of seeing yourself, asking yourself those questions, will allow for you to come into greater focus of what it is that you want and what it is that you want to experience. Yes. Is it okay with my kiddos? I feel like I have to pick up my kids. Yeah. So there's a fire at my children's school. So I'm going to have to go pick them up from school. Yeah. Awesome. So thank you all so much. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to get to all of you. If you and I haven't connected, I'll put an offering later on when I return. If you and I haven't connected, I would love to connect and offer a free 30-minute numerology call. I'll post it in the links. And yeah, so much love. They're safe. They're safe. All right. Lots of love, everyone. Happy new moon. See you in the spaces. Bye for now.